Today on Blind Tag Wrestling News Now, is AEW about to pull the trigger on unveiling a brand new championship?
Bryan Danielson clarified his statements about the yes chants.
Apparently, Grand Metalik woke up yesterday morning, realized he was still signed with WWE, and promptly asked for his release.
And by the way, Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson went to a 30-minute time limit draw on last night's episode of Dynamite.
Oh, that he did.
That he did.
And I'm just going to say, I got to get this out of the way. Hello, how are you doing? I'm going to not be excited yet. I'm John.
I'm Raja.
This is Blind Tag Wrestling News Now.
Yes, it is.
Now we're going to talk about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday, somebody said they might go to a time limit draw.
Ooh, I wonder who that was.
That was me. But listen, I know they don't do it very much. What a great use of the time limit draw.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't do better. Honestly.
No, it was a great use of it. And you know something, I actually liked it. I don't know if this is by accident or not. And we'll talk about the whole match, but when we got down to the time limit draw, and Justin's like, 1 minute, and nobody even really knew what he said. It's like,
It's hard to hear.
You're like, what the? And it almost killed the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
It did, just for a second. Because everybody was like, what was that, God? Was this match so good that we conjured God? Yahweh?
Oh, no.
Is that thou? You know?
Right.
So, it's like, yes.
They only have 1 minute left.
I can't hold it much longer. So, honestly, when they did that, the thing I liked about it was normally in a time limit draw, right? You know it off the bat because they're like, this match has a 30-minute time limit.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And then they'll be like, 10 minutes left in the match, you know? Or they'll even do the expired. 7 minutes expired in the match. 23 minutes. Is that right? Am I right on that? Did I do quick math?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow, this is God related. But when they did the minute, they didn't even mention it. They didn't sneeze it. They didn't, nothing, right?
Right.
We get down to 1 minute. We think we're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Like when we went through the breaks and stuff and nothing was happening, nobody's interfering, I'm like, I don't know if it's going to fly in New York.
Yeah, we're like, what's going on?
We're in New York. These people, they don't know what to do, They've been looking at the entrance ramp for like 10 minutes. And it's like really freaked everybody out.
Waiting.
Listen, this match, when they did that, you didn't have to worry about the time limit till that last minute.
No.
It was focused on the action. It was focused on the match.
Yeah.
This match showed you what professional wrestling can be.
Ooh. This is professional wrestling.
This match was wrestling. You know the old "This is wrestling" chant?
Yes.
This is wrestling.
Yes, it is.
And you had two of the greatest performers, two of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Definitely.
In the ring, and I don't care. I really don't care what you think about either one. They're two of the greatest wrestlers that we've ever had. And no matter if you like a Danielson or if you like Omega, obviously the guy likes the other guy and thinks the other guy is the greatest wrestler. Or he wouldn't be having this match and putting it over like this. They beat the tarnation out of each other. But I want to go through the match a little bit because some of the things and some of the story and some of the craftsmanship that happened in this, it's just
so beautiful.
Beautiful. And when it started, they were soaking in the moment. They just, and right then you just felt it, right?
Yeah, it was like my favorite part.
You just felt it. Like if you can watch that match and not get the feel-billies, you are a better wrestling fan than I.
It was just this tension, and it was like,
oh my God,
this is happening.
Honestly, Scooby and Shaggy came in there and it was just like, made the little hole in the fog, And it was like that, but everybody was standing. Everybody was excited. Even here, us watching it, it was like all like,
like, oh my God,
the whole time, just completely. And I didn't know it was going to be like that. I didn't know I was going to feel that.
No, me either.
Until it happened. I was excited, but I didn't know I was that excited. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like you're like, this is going to be a great match. And then it happened and you're like, oh my God.
There's a little bit of trepidation. Like you don't know if Brian's going to come out in, sweatpants with a gut and, smoking a cigarette being like, yeah, I haven't went to the gym in 7 months.
You never know what's going to happen.
I lost that loser leaves to Roman, and that was the last time we saw him. The last time we saw him, he had a match of the year candidate for that Fed.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just pretty crazy. The pop that happened on the lockup,
just wonderful.
There's not going to be many matches that get the chance beforehand, that get the pop on the lockup, because people were so happy that it actually was happening, that they had bought the ticket, they'd made their way, they'd survived Queens, they were in Arthur Ashe Stadium, they had their seat, they had their merch, they had their hot dog, and they were actually seeing it.
They made it. They made it to that point.
They made it. Like, life didn't screw them in this instance, and that's a beautiful thing. They went back and forth, starting it off with what you expect. A lot of chops, a lot of kicks. And when I say chops and kicks, it's not chops it's not garden variety chops. it's magnifiquito. It's actually, very lalico. It's a chop.
Yes.
It's a chop house.
Yes.
And the kicks, Danielson kicks.
No.
They're educated. I mean,
right.
They are higher educated feet.
Yes.
They go to the institutes of higher learning for feet because they'll kick your block off. And I like the fact he doesn't kick you in the shoulder here. He kicks you in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm here now.
Yes.
I'm kicking you in the face.
I'm just gonna keep on going. I loved when he would kick and chop alternately, and the fans would go like, yes, woo, like back and forth.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
That was amazing.
It's beautiful. You can't escape with Omega when the fans did it.
It was great.
It was like the first time he got it perfect in like 2 years.
Yes, and then Danielson put his knees up.
Yeah, had to ruin it. But we did the Rise of the Terminator.
Yes.
And we haven't done that. That's not a normal thing anymore.
We were just talking about wanting to see that the other day.
And the Phoenix Splash.
Oh, man.
I mean, this was like, you remember we used to get Kenny in New Japan, you get the pay-per-view tights?
Yes.
Like, you knew it was going to be like a normal multi-man or something if he was wearing like his tidy whiteys.
Yeah, and he
had
wore
butt
a shirt.
stains on it and all this stuff, and wore a shirt, and you're like, oh.
It's small match Omega.
Oh, it's not, I'm not really here, Omega. And then when you wear like the really beautiful tights and all this stuff, you're like, oh, it's going to be a big match.
It's the best belt machine.
It felt like that last night. Like, Kenny looked amazing.
Yes.
He just looked amazing. And he come out there and he did all his old hits. Like, if you went to go see him play the concert, he did every song you wanted to hear.
Yes. He definitely brought the real Kenny Omega out.
And then, so there's something funny, right? I from my time in wrestling, I have certain things that I love. And my favorite move to ever be in pro wrestling is the cattle mutilation.
Yes.
I can't explain why Doug Williams, there's so many things, like old school Ring of Honor and stuff. Like, I love the cattle mutilation. I just love it. I love the look of it, the beauty of it. I love it when Danielson does it. And, man, when he
talked about it for years.
When he did the cattle mutilation, I thought I was going to kill Raja.
So did I.
I feared for her safety. And, like, we locked eyes.
I should have ran.
We locked eyes, and she kind of gave me the Iggy, like,
No,
no. There'll be no.
I understand, but no.
No spears,
You're not putting me in the cattle mutilation.
I was in the floor this whole match. I was, like, jumping up the whole match.
It was insanity.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Snapdragon on the ramp.
Oh.
And, the running V-trigger from New Jersey. Which was just,
ow.
I mean, it was just beautiful. There was a lot of things, Danielson with the massive kicks after that. I mean, it was just amazing, man. It was really amazing. Danielson was doing a story the whole time, right? He's working, trying to get the label lock.
Yes.
And he's working the body part. He's doing the old school. Everything made sense. Even a Poison Rana, like, I mean, everything made sense.
Right.
Getting him up for one wing, and Danielson kind of falls backwards.
Yeah.
And it happens to flip Kenny over.
Yes.
Instead of, woohoo,
And drives his freaking head.
Yeah, instead of, I'm just going to do this, I swear to God, go back and watch it. He puts this limp body Danielson up there, and he falls backwards and pulls him over.
Yeah.
Okay?
Momentum.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. If they fell off the ropes, you wouldn't be able to know that it was a fight. It reminded me, so I mean, they're so technically sound. They're up here, but if you go back and watch Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine, the matches that are not the dog collar match. Okay, I know the network, rest in peace, had one of the matches up there at one time. I don't know if it's on Peacock or not, but you can look. That one told the story really well, and it was like the way they went at it. It was like you're watching a tough man, right?
Right.
And this was that kind of feeling for me, albeit technical and just genius. And seeing, there didn't have to be any road mapping going with the gizigs.
No.
But they were beating bloody pulps. Like
their chest,
just as far as
nasty.
It was all raised to the skin and the bumps. And, just beautiful, beautiful match. But near the end, they traded the headbutts and the close fist punches.
They were just desperate. Desperate to get something.
When the bell sounded, right then, he still wanted that LaBelle lock.
Oh, yeah. They were still going for it.
And Excalibur, the best, right? Excalibur is the best. He sold it so well. Talking about Gene LaBelle, talking about who he was, talking about what a badass he was, who, and who he trained, and who trained, why this is a generational technique.
Right.
And I love that so much that thinking about some 13-year-old going and looking up Gene LaBelle now, it checks the boxes for me. Excalibur is amazing.
He is.
And it adds so much to a match. But, we go from that and they come out and you can take it from there.
Well, I mean, where do you go from there?
You don't. I'm done. Glad you guys enjoyed it. We're going to go watch this match again.
No, in all reality.
Super Click comes out.
Yes.
And, they're messing with their guy and they do a triple kick to Danielson. You can only imagine, right? So this could only go a couple ways. We didn't hear anything from Kenny or anything like that. I mean, how's this going to go? Is Kenny going to maybe get kicked face? I know, right? I know that's kind of out there. But his competition in him, his will to be the best, is it going to be like, hey, why did you guys kick this guy? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Maybe not.
Right.
But it was to that level that where it reminds him who he is, that he is the best. And it has to remind the actual man a little bit, because that's the best match he's had. That goes back to New Japan. That goes back to Okada level stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was that same kind of feeling for me.
Yeah. This should be the beginning of the end for Don Callis.
It didn't feel forced.
No.
And that's what's weird. It was totally forced. And it didn't feel forced. It was
felt
like
very natural.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I got a wrestling roofie. I didn't even know.
But the Jurassic Express and Christian came out for the save, setting up the match for Rampage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be fun.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun. And don't worry, no spoilers. Not going to do that to anybody for the Rampage stuff. CM Punk came out, great promo, talking about, being back in New York, talking about how it's hard to be the mean mugger when he's, sees all these people, hears all these people, he's got a smile.
Yes.
20,000, over 20,000 people.
Yes.
Just,
how can you not be
They
happy?
even had it open behind the stage, which is not normal, so you could have the limited view seats. It's pretty cool, man. Talking about his match with Powerhouse Hobbs coming up. MJF defeated Brian Pillman Jr., but the fans weren't ready for this.
No, we were all kind of...
Yeah, everybody was still kind of like heart palpitations and all this. I know even me, I was Twittering, right? I was checking it out. I'm be honest with you. I was trying to watch it, but sometimes we can't do that. That's why they made popcorn matches.
Listen, I was promised shenanigans and shillelaghs, and I got neither in this match, so... Well, just saying.
They were somewhere. They just couldn't be seen. Malachi Black defeated Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody got a odd reception.
A bit.
And I don't understand the world sometimes, I guess. Cody was the most over dude I'd heard in years.
Yeah.
At live events and all these that we were at, many Dynamites that we were at. Cody would come out. I mean, it was deafening.
Yeah.
And it was like a different level of over. And this guy's a star. And then something, I don't know where the turn happened. I'm not sure where the turn happened, because he even tried putting other people over.
And
doing these things. I think that Cody being Cody and the great psychologist he is, that it's doing exactly what he expected, because he looked at the fans during this, right? He that was acting
when they were booing.
Yeah, no, there was something there. Like, I could tell this was going somewhere. Now, I don't think Papa Arn was supposed to fall off the first time.
Yeah.
But did that not make it better?
Yeah.
I mean, because Cody already looked at him like, oh, you know, and then he goes over there and of course hits him again. Honestly, I might have ad-libbed that and just went with the first fall. You know,
and went and checked on him.
Yeah, with him falling down and went and checked on him and not worry about that other thing, because it still tells the story.
Right.
Cody's too preoccupied with all this other stuff. He doesn't have his killer instinct anymore. Yeah. And Malachi was kind of pointing to that in some of the interviews. It was like he was calling him, you know, one of the best in the world and stuff. Anyway, we get to the end, all the distractions, all this stuff. Malachi spits the black juice and from the evil bile or whatever that's inside of him. I love Excalibur's.
He misted him.
Is really good stuff.
Oh, it was.
I have to look at the black mist. I forget. I think that's the deadliest it gets on the Muda level. Like, when I've got a list that's got all those on there.
We can expect dark hair Cody any day now.
Yeah. And we were there live for that. Sting and Darby Allin defeated FTR. So
it's just a beautiful.
Listen, man. Listen. Other than FTR's in NWO gear, which was awesome.
I think that just served to piss Sting off more.
We need to talk about Sting. Sting's in his 60s. He's in his 60s.
Are you sure about that?
When I saw the top rope crossbody, I mean, he gets up there better than some 30-year-olds. Like, and you don't worry about it. And he picks people up with ease. Like, it's not like Sting's gonna pick you up and fall.
Right.
I got you in midair, pal. You know,
you just trust him.
Sting's not a werewolf. I'm sorry, but you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That Jesus juice is strong.
Yes.
It is strong.
Yes. Sting was definitely the star of this match.
Yeah, no, he is. And every time he's out there working, it's like you forget. He's like, all right, kids. You know, I see him getting wheeled in and all this stuff, and he's like, and I got Red Bull. Let's go. You know, gets out there, and music hits, he comes out, and it's all of a sudden it's like, I mean, it's Sting. Yeah. It's the icon. Yeah. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great.
And he got the win in this match because he almost splashed on a chair.
Yeah, he did.
But he stopped himself, and then Dax went like head first into the chair.
Yeah, Dax and Cash are looking great, man.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah, Dax is actually looking like, you know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna truly be Dax the Axe.
We're going for it.
I noticed Dax,
brother.
I noticed. But no, it was good stuff. You know, anytime, I think we're still building to some kind of confrontation with Tully and Sting. Of course, Tully might have second thoughts after seeing Sting's performance. Whew.
Yeah, I would.
My God, he really did.
No thanks.
Look great. We come into something I really love about the show. Absolutely love it. I loved everything about the show.
Yes.
But Britt Baker defeating Ruby Soho, retaining her AEW Women's Championship. But it was the main event. It was the title match. Should be the main event for everything that we believe in, right?
Right.
And it was given time.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say any more than that. It was a really good match.
Yes.
And I think it did what it needed to do in establishing Ruby Soho in a way she wasn't established for me before. Now, the interview they did in ring on Rampage last Friday, that established that for me. I'm like, oh, okay. Chicka can cut a good promo.
Right.
And it was entertaining. Not many of them can. You know, anybody, wrestlers.
Right. Wrestlers in general.
Somebody's going to be like, well, many of them. What do you mean by many of them? You know, no, I'm not that cat. So
many red-haired people.
Yeah, you damn red-haired people. These soulless bastards. Somebody say soulless red. That'll be a great human. Okay. She did great. And last night really established her as a championship contender. Now, obviously, we've got people waiting, Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
You know, Thunder Rosa is waiting in that cage level, you know, scaffold match.
Right.
Fire, death match, whatever.
Yes.
It's got to happen.
Time to start building.
We've already had it go from blood, no rule. It's got to go another level, right?
Of course.
So, or just pure, like we're going to have a pure match or whatever. just cool stuff. I think Jamie Hayter's on the train now. I was worried about her doing a turn, but she's wearing the DMD shirt.
Right.
She seems like she's a goon now.
Right.
Which I like. Don't get me wrong. I love them together.
Yeah.
So,
they're a great little team.
All in all, what do you think? Dynamite?
Oh, goodness. I mean, it was as amazing as we expected. Maybe even more so. Yeah. Definitely the first match was more so amazing.
Well, dude, listen. Like I said, in context, that's a match of the year. That's definitely my television match of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
And
like free TV, thanks.
Just from the feeling and the energy and the excitement, it's going to be hard to beat that atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you beat 20,000 fans?
Well, with a stick, And speaking of Bryan Danielson.
Yes, speaking of Bryan Danielson, he spoke to Dave Meltzer about the comments he made about the yes chants.
Yes, he did.
And he wanted to clarify that a little bit. And what he said is that he did talk to WWE about intellectual property.
He talked to Kevin Dunn.
And it mostly concerned music. But he also said that in talking to WWE that no one ever brought up the yes chant specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't ask him not to do it. But he's not doing it because he wants to differentiate the Daniel Bryan character from the Bryan Danielson.
Which makes sense.
That he is.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yes. He doesn't mind if the fans do it. He's just not going to do it himself,
Yeah, and I think the fans, as it goes, I mean, there's a time to do it.
Yeah.
It's an exciting thing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So it makes sense, especially with the kicks and whatnot, unless he comes up with something else like maybe, no. It'll be the yes.
Maybe?
So I think that he said exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing that he said.
Except he pointed out
that they didn't ask him not to do the chant specifically.
It was good. I think he's just very much that.
He doesn't want to shine a bad light on anyone.
He thinks that it's still possible to be friends when you break up.
Right. Yes.
And yeah, it totally is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to work a year down the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
We'll be friends forever. Maybe the two of us. Maybe you can bring little Vince and I'll bring little TK and we'll go out to a picnic sometime.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's going to work.
Yes. So just so you know, they did not tell him not to do the chant.
No, they did not. And moving on to other news, it came out yesterday from the Mas Lucha site, which is very reputable, that Grand Metalik had asked for his release from WWE.
Right.
And, I made the joke about the breaking news is Grand Metalik was still with WWE because they just haven't used him very well. Lucha House Party has not been a serious contender. I know they can argue that, we had that one match. I think they've used him 3 times this year or they last used him in March or so. I don't know. It's not much.
Right.
And, he had a hell of a reputation in CMLL. After that, it went to New Japan for a year and between, 2015, 2016, very respected, and I think that 33 years old, absolutely. There's a lot more to give. And I would love to see some of those ranks get filled back up. God knows CMLL could use you right now.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, that door's only been going one way.
Yeah.
And, it's not a good way for CMLL.
No.
So, and New Japan would love to have somebody else on the cruiserweight or, lightweight roster right now.
Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we need to bolster those ranks back up. The pandemic has really, it's a gypsy thing, has really killed all that. So we've had usually a lot of foreigners come in for the New Japan, for the tournaments and what have you. So
we'd love to see some luchadors.
Best of Super Juniors works a lot better when
there's a lot of Super Juniors.
When there's a lot of Super Juniors. Not when you're like, Ishii just happened to lose 20 pounds yesterday.
It's Hiromu versus Master Wato again.
Oh, no. No. Not Master Wato.
He's in the division.
Ah.
At least it's not Bushi versus Master Wato.
No. All right. So moving on.
Moving on
from that, you're going to have to title me up a little bit. Get me excited.
Yes. We have some breaking news.
I think when you say Master Wato, I need to...
From Andrew Zarian of the Matman podcast.
Normally pretty reputable.
Right. He broke some news
reputable
last night talking about AEW revealing a new championship
Oh,
called the TBS Championship.
hey.
And it's going to be a women's title.
There you go.
Yes, secondary women's title. We need it.
Absolutely.
We need it bad.
Absolutely. You know what else we need?
What?
We need a TBS or a TNT tag titles.
Yes, secondary tag title.
Listen, we really do. We need it bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's simply because of the sheer amount of tag teams that we have right now on the roster. I mean, I don't know if anybody realizes, but we have a whole Crockett Cup
Yes.
on the roster of amazing, high caliber tag teams.
So many.
And it's just amazing. It really is. Like when you start trying to name them all.
Even the ones that like mostly show up on Dark and stuff are
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, they're amazing. and it's like we got so many. I think the secondary tag titles would give that awesome title defense for Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Or the title defense for Rampage of these tag titles. You know, it's a fantastic idea. I love the secondary women's title.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I don't think we need it. I think that we have a top 10 that's just right there right now.
Right.
Of top 10 really next level high caliber women.
Right.
You know, there's an argument we can make it the ladies tag belt. You know, quicker.
That's what I was expecting.
Quicker than that, it would be fun. You know, and we could pair together some of this large number that we've put together.
Right.
We could probably use the tag team to get it in ring experience where you're not having to do the whole match yourself. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Idea.
I'm good with it. I'm excited about it. I'm not one of these guys that gets mad about too many titles. I'm just not. I think that used correctly, which I have faith at this point with AEW to use anything correctly.
Right.
So they've given me no reason to doubt the booking, or if something messes up, that the booking's going to be corrected.
Right.
So I think that
We have faith in you.
Yeah, I think you get a little bit of a way there with that. So what a show.
Wow.
Absolutely just banger.
It was so much.
You're not going to have very many of those, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear your opinion on this. So in the comment section, please let us know. We'll try to answer every single one. Was it the match of the year? Do you think that there'll be something better? Is there a potential match out there looming like Dexter Loomis that could be stalking you in the window and making this even better?
Oh, man.
What about titles?
Yeah. What kind of titles do you want to see?
I know you want to see the trios.
Oh, yes. That's my number one for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, trios title, it's more than one new title. Just let us know.
Yeah.
And listen, if you like us, please subscribe.
Yes.
We love it. We get excited every time we see your little face. We put your little cheeks. And also hit the like. If you don't like us, make your enemies do it. You know, it's that kind of
Check us
stuff.
out on social media.
Absolutely. We need all the social love we can get and try not to catch those social diseases. And because it's me, I got to give you a little bit of parting advice here. It's just what I like to do.
Of course.
I like to educate people and make sure they're okay.
Right.
Only Hulk Hogan is allowed to suplex you incorrectly. Just remember that.
All right.
Anybody else? No. Don't take it. Don't go up. It's these kind of things. For Raja, I'm John. So long from Blind Tag Wrestling News Now.
Bye.